beautiful eyebrows, but take a look at the after where it's a little bit more lifted. The brow ends are a little bit shorter. So you want to stick around with this video because I'm going to show you how to shorten your brow ends and get a brow lift. Hey everybody, it's Jasmine, your brow expert and your brow model. Now this one in particular, you may not relate because she's got beautiful eyebrows, but I think a lot of us, even though the ones or some of us that does not have a brow end or a tail, it's still beneficial because it's going to show you, or I'm going to show you how to lengthen your brow ends or how to shorten the ends to where it balances for your face. I've been shaping eyebrows for over 25 years and I'm still at the Anastasia Beverly Hills salon. So thank you for some of you that have come by and trusted me with your eyebrows. But without further ado, let's bring on the model. All the way down here where it drags the face down. Now right over here, I did fill them in a tiny bit towards the end, just to exaggerate how far the hairs grow. Now it's a little bit more of that darker fuzz where it creates that shadow where the face goes down a little bit. And you don't know this, but in person, her face is a little bit more on the narrow side. So she benefits with her ends to be a tiny bit shorter. So in the measurement right here, side of the nose and then the corner of the eye, that's how long you know how long you know the end should be, right? This is for everybody. Side of the nose, corner of the eye, right over here. So make your mark and then you know like, okay, well then that's how long the brow should be. And if you don't have any brow ends or all you have is the front of your eyebrows and you're always wanting to do your brow ends, that's always still a good tip, even though you don't have hair there. Then you know how long to go, right? Okay, so beautifully shaped, and I'm using that before down below so that way you can show you guys how the process. Okay, so the highlighter is really nice to do first, during, after, doesn't matter. But right over here, if you're not sure how much to tweeze and you do have some stragglies down there, this is something really good to do before you tweeze. But I'm placing it right underneath the eyebrows, and then I'm just kind of dragging it down. The highlighter, that is, you can use a concealer as well. But once the brows have been shaped, this is where I like to go. Now, if you haven't shaped your eyebrows, you want to tweeze, go ahead and do this and go over. My brows have been tattooed a long time ago, which is why it's a little bit darker, and I have some concealer and some color. It's a little crazy down here. But you can see right over here, it almost looks really good just doing this, right? Okay, so very important, right? And the highlighter is something that really you can use as an eraser. That's when you tweeze right around down here to see how short you want to go. But before you tweeze, obviously this is what's helping you to see how long the end should be. I even suggest drawing them in as long as you can and then do this. Okay, here's another tip. Now get a stick or an end of a spoolie brush, but you see that I went right over here at the tip of the ear. And then what I did was go right over here and right at the tip, I go straight across. And then that's when you can also see, okay, well, this is where it should be, right? That really helps. So if you're shorter than this, you know to go a little longer. If your hair is longer than past this, you know you can go a little shorter. Okay, so I'm gonna use the dual powder. Does she need any color? No. But you know, this is a brow channel, right? This is always about just elevating the eyebrows. And so I'm using the ash brown powder. I'm actually using the darker side of the powder because ash brown is my color as well, but her hair obviously is not only dark, but it's thick. I always like to brush the hair down. In my case, I don't have hair, but if you have little stragglies up there, brush it down so that way you can see the root up there, okay? So this is really all about the ends, but if you want it to look a little bit more polished, tighter, more finished, that is what you can do. You brush the hair down, get the powder, and then you wanna, see this? You drag the brush down right at the edge of the root, meaning right where the hair grows out of. And if you apply color right at that edge only, it makes such a big difference. That actually elevates your eyebrows, meaning it just lifts, elevates, meaning makes it look even better. So you could see just by doing this already the difference from what it looks like to the bottom, right? So when you brush it down, drag the brush down. I'm adding a little bit of color down below, a tiny bit. Again, is it necessary? Not really. And I'm not really putting anything at the front. I don't like the front to be too dark, and obviously with her, she doesn't need anything. But just going back to me, right over here, dragging it down, dragging it down. The reason I say drag the brush down is because you want the brush to stay sharp. If you do this with the brush, it sprays out the hair and it doesn't keep the brush sharp. It doesn't keep the application sharp. You want it tight and sharp. So by just placing the brush and dragging it down, that's really all you need. Okay, so obviously the clear brow gel is very important in this case. It keeps the hair combed up in an angle, and always comb over that extra color that you put above the brow end. So that's another reason why I always like the hair a little bit more in an angle, polished up. Beautiful, right? Again, you notice that the color was only placed over here. And I didn't do this on the model. Actually, I kind of did. I put a little bit of color towards the end, but just going back, definitely think about just drawing your eyebrows as long as you can. And then erase it away little by little. And this is for those of you that does not have brow ends. This is for those of you that want to draw the brow ends, you don't want to take away. But however your ends are, or you don't have, or you have, this is the best tip. Tip of the ear, straight across, and keep it more out as opposed to down. So that way you get yourself a lift. So what do you think? Are you going to make your brows shorter, longer? Let me know where your brow ends end. Okay, so I hope this tip has helped you. Let me know if it did. Share this with someone that you feel like can use this tip. And obviously, always subscribe if you're not already, because this helps me in the YouTube world. The engagement always lets me know that I'm doing the right thing. And give me some ideas if I haven't touched on anything, if you haven't gone on my main page and looked at all my other brow tips. Let me know what I'm missing. And keep in mind, all the models that I use, I am grateful for their consent. So that gets a little tricky. If I see someone that I know can be perfect as a model, all of you can benefit. Sometimes I don't get that consent. So that is why I don't get to everybody. But thank you for your time. Thank you for your engagement again. And I will see you guys next week.